Hello, hello. Welcome back to Yoga with Paige. Today's class is for all levels if we want to experiment and play, but more designed for intermediate to advanced level. We have a few arm balances, a lot of standing leg balances. I don't use any props in this class, but you're welcome to grab a block if you normally practice with one. This is not a fiery power vinyasa flow, but a controlled strength class. So we move with intention, carefully controlled, utilizing our strength, harnessing our power that way. So whenever you're ready, grab your mat and let's get started. We begin today in child's pose. Hands can be behind us or in front of the head. Just arriving on the mat. Taking a deep breath or two. Taking a moment to connect to ourselves. Letting things go. Letting our thoughts melt away. We're here with our body, with our breath. Carefully rising up, coming into our tabletop position. Fingers spread wide, hips over the knees, tucking the back toes and leaning back on the feet, taking the wrists and turning the fingers towards the feet and coming up, getting a little wrist stretch, just to wherever feels good, wherever we can feel it in the wrists and in the forearms. If this is too much for you, we can always have the wrists out to the side and kind of make little circles or sway and warm them up that way. Whichever feels good to you. And then we're also going to come on the backs of the hands, so leaning back again to turn the hands onto the backs, and then rocking forward gently, gently, opening up through the wrists. And gently placing palms back on the mat, coming into our true tabletop. And then grounding through the tops of the feet, lifting the knees off the mat for 5, 4, using your core, 3, 2, 1. Staying here, keeping the knees off the mat, lifting the right leg, seeing if we can tap knee to nose. And then the left, knee to nose, and gently release the knees down to the mat. Lifting the right knee, making gentle little hip circles. So we're really grounding through the fingers here, not splaying over to the side, drawing big circles with that right knee, opening up the hip. Nice and slow. And then extending that leg out to the side, grounding through the right hand, raising the left for this like awkward airplane. 3, 2, 1. Taking the hand back to the mat, the leg comes behind, rocking on the ball of the foot, warming up the calf. And taking that leg back in, raising the left for hip circles. Nice and big. Feeling the sensation through the hip, maybe even in the glute. And extending that leg nice and long, raising the right arm. 3, 2, 1. Planting the right hand, extending the leg behind. And bringing it back in, tabletop. Walking the hands forward, tucking the toes, downward facing dog. Sending the hips up to the sky. Big toes are together. Head is between the biceps. Pressing the heels down into the mat, finding this nice length in the spine. Gazing at the hands, lifting the heels and rippling through the back to high plank pose, holding here. Slowly lowering down, chaturanga, and hold. Pressing back up to push up, using your core. Hold here. Bending the right knee, tapping it behind, and the left. I didn't really reach that one, did I? And the right. And the left. One more each side, using control. You're strong. And back into plank pose. Bending the left knee, taking it into the chest, and planting it down for pigeon. Finding what feels good in this pose for us today. Melting into the sweet release after warming up our core. We'll be using it a lot today. Finding a gentle rock here, maybe steepling the fingers, opening up through the hips. Lifting the chest, planting the right hand in front of the legs, reaching back with the left to find a little twist here. Keeping the chest nice and lifted. Shoulders are down and back. And coming to face the front, tucking the back toe, planting the hands, sending that left leg up, three-legged dog. Bending the knee, tapping the left elbow, three-legged dog. Tapping the right elbow, three-legged dog. Bending the knee and planting that leg, turning out onto our bum so the right toes are facing up towards the ceiling. Reaching that left arm over, finding a nice side body stretch. Spiraling the chest open. Big deep breath in. And on the exhale, sweeping that left arm around, planting it behind us, reaching the right over as we lift the hips. Sweeping that right arm over. And exhale to switch. Maybe finding a little back bend here. Coming back over. One more time, sending the hips high. And back over to the leg. Taking a stretch here, folding over the right leg, toes pointed up. We're activating the quadriceps, getting an even deeper stretch. And raising the chest, taking that right leg, crossing it over the left for a little twist. Taking the left hand to the outside of the thigh, gazing wherever is behind us. We've traveled a little bit on the mat today. Nice deep breaths, opening up the lower back. Coming back through center, stacking that right leg on top of the left, trying to get the knees on top of each other. If this is accessible to you, we can be here as well. We can take fire log pose. And if none of those work, we can always sit in bound angle. So sitting here in cow face legs, finding our position, already feeling it in the hips here, sitting up nice and tall, pulling that strength through the crown of your head. maybe bending forward just a tad, just a little bit. Noticing the sensations here in the glutes. Breathing nice and deep into that space. And lifting up, taking the hands to the left side behind us, we are going to spin around so the left leg is on top. And we're going to do that whole little thing backwards on the other side. We're getting a little funky today. So finding where this feels good. Noticing the difference in the sensations. Feeling more open on the other side that we just did. Probably feeling a little bit more tight on this side that we haven't worked through yet. Taking one more deep breath here. Quieting the mind. Before lifting up and taking our twist. We might need to readjust the legs a little bit if we've traveled. Coming back through center, extending the left leg out to the side, maybe scooting to the middle of the mat. Reaching that right arm overhead, nice big stretch, and planting it behind, sending the hips high. Sweeping around across the face, finding this nice flow, feeling nice and big and open, moving with the breath. Last time, make it big. And coming around to frame the foot. And inhaling back up, sweeping that left leg behind us, making our way into our pigeon pose. Steepling the fingers, lifting the chest, squaring off the hips. Finding any wiggle room that we need. And inhaling up, placing the left fingertips in front, reaching back with the right. I'm coming to face the front, planting the hands, taking the right leg back, three-legged dog, and releasing it down to the mat. Pedaling out the feet, downward facing dog. Gazing at the hands, bending the knees, walking or jumping up to the front of the mat, forward fold. Inhale to rise, hands come together, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale to rise, exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, planting the hands, stepping or jumping back to plank pose, taking a vinyasa. We meet in downward facing dog. Grounding through the right foot, raising the left, three-legged dog. Stepping that foot all the way through, planting it in between the hands, high lunge. Arms come above the head, nice and strong. Holding here, sinking deep into the hip, reaching that right heel back towards the mat. Rolling the shoulders down and back. Shifting our weight forward. Preparing for warrior 3. Lifting that right heel off the mat, straightening the arms, tilting our weight forward. Releasing the arms behind us. We're here for a few breaths, nice and strong. Grounding through all 4 corners of that left foot. Big breaths. You can do it. It's okay if we fall out. And bending that right knee, taking it into a little Shiva squat. Before extending it nice and long again, warrior 3. Stepping back with control, high lunge. And exhale, reaching that left arm back to grab the leg. Right arm comes overhead for a little twist. We're sinking nice and deep into this lunge. And if this feels okay for you, we straighten that front leg coming into a revolved triangle. Windmilling the arms around, turning that back foot out 45 degrees, tilting the hips back, coming into triangle, raising the right arm, opening the chest, nice and strong. Holding here, thinking of sending both hips back. The chest is nice and open. Exhale, bending that left knee, coming into warrior 2. Checking our alignment. Inhale, reach forward and back. Peaceful warrior. And exhale, back to warrior 2. Windmilling the arms around, planting both, taking the left leg back, coming into side plank on the other side. We're on the outside of our right foot. Right hand is on the mat. Left arm peels up. Bring the hips up. We're nice and strong in the core, holding here. And tucking that left arm underneath the shoulder, working the obliques. And back up 2 more times. Nice and strong, use your control. And back up. Grounding through the fingertips. Reaching up. Raising the top leg, pointing the toes to the knee. Extending it, trying to come around into high lunge without using your hands. Inhale. And exhale, rain the fingers down, planting the hands, taking that left leg back, 3-legged dog. Bending the knee, opening up to the side, stacking the hips. Back to 3-legged dog. And gently release to downward facing dog. Grounding through the left foot, raising the right, 3-legged dog. Bending through the knee, planting it in between the hands, high lunge. Arms are high, we're strong, shoulders are rolled back. We're nice and deep into this lunge. Sending the left heel back. And exhale, starting to shift our weight forward, preparing for warrior 3. Lifting that back leg with control. Grounding through the foot. Reaching the arms back. Breathing nice and deep. Taking a little Shiva squat, bending the knees. We're strong, we got this. We send it back out with strength, with our power. And we gently step back. Inhale to rise the arms. And taking the right behind us, left arms overhead. Nice side body stretch. And straightening the front leg. Deepening the sensation. And windmilling the arms around, turning the back foot out, coming into triangle. Holding here, nice and open. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, nice and deep over the fingers. Inhale, reach forward and back. And exhale, back to warrior two. Windmilling around to step our right foot back, coming into side plank. Reaching that right arm up high. Our legs are stacked. Our core is nice and strong. We're holding here. And reaching that right arm underneath. And back up. Underneath. Back up. One more time. You got this. You're strong. Back up. Taking that right leg up high in the air. And coming around into high lunge. Inhale. And exhale to rain the fingers down. And taking that right leg back, three-legged dog. Exhale. Bending the knee, stacking the hips, opening up, gazing at the foot. Exhale, three-legged dog, release, downward facing dog. Gazing at the hands, bending the knees, jumping up to the front of the mat, feet are hip width apart, forward fold. Planting the hands in front of the feet, we can now take crow pose. Gently, with control, lifting the heels, placing the knees close to the armpits, spreading through the fingers, and gently shifting our weight forward as we lift the feet off the ground. Finding our focus spot, holding here nice and strong, tucking the feet into the chest. Hold, use your breath. And exhale into Malasana, toes pointing out. Nice hip release. Finding any micro movements here that feel good, maybe lifting the hips, maybe raising one arm, or taking a bind. Making sure we even out both sides, whatever we choose to do. And carefully inhaling, straightening the legs. Pointing the toes forward, excuse me, and exhale, mountain pose, hands to heart center. Taking a deep breath, reconnecting with ourselves here. Noticing how we feel. Inhale, reach the arms above, picking up the right foot, extending the leg, not using the hands, out nice and straight, holding here. Hips are square. We're not tilted, our hips are square. We're lifting the leg, activating the glutes, holding nice and strong. And bending the knee, reaching the right arm back, left hand comes to the knee for a twist. Extending that right leg, grabbing peace fingers around big toes to revolve even further. And coming to face front, switching hands, taking the right hand, coming into dancer pose. Slow and steady, using our breath to gently shift our weight forward. Wherever you are today is where you're meant to be. And exhale to release, taking the knee up. And back down, shaking out the legs, giving them a little reprieve here, maybe a little wiggle. And inhale, arms above the head. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more time, big inhale. Keeping the hands above the head, we lift the left leg, sending it out nice and strong. Toes pointed up to the ceiling. Holding here. And bending the knee, coming to our revolve. Maybe extending that left leg. Nice deep breaths. We're almost done. This has been nice deep breaths here. And gently release, coming to switch hands, switching our grip for dancer pose. Nice and gentle, not forcing our way into anything. Honoring wherever we're at. Honoring the shakes, the falls, as well as the victories. And inhaling the left leg in front. And gently release, shaking out the legs. Inhaling the arms above the head. Interlacing fingers, taking the right leg over the left and bending to the right side. Coming back through center, switching sides, bending to the left. Back through center, uncrossing the legs, taking the hands behind us into a reverse prayer pose, opening up through the shoulders. Spreading the feet hip width apart. We're going to forward fold, half, keeping the spine nice and long. Keeping a little micro bend in the knees. And gently release the hands, coming into a forward fold. Making our way gently to a seat. Extending both legs in front. Sitting up nice and tall. Just noticing here. Maybe closing the eyes. Just being on the mat in this room with this community in this practice. And opening the eyes, taking the legs in together, crossing the right ankle over the left knee, coming into fire log pose. Finding a little bit of an end stretch for the glutes, the hips that did so much for us today. And switching sides. We're going to end in bridge pose today, end with a little back bend, opening ourselves up to the world for the end of our practice. But take any other little movements, any other stretches that feel good to you, that you feel your body needs after this practice. And we will meet on our backs in bridge pose. Hands nice and sturdy on the mat, supported. We send the pelvis up high to the sky, maybe interlacing the fingers underneath the hips, drawing power from the chest, sending the hips up even more, activating the glutes, the quadriceps, staying super strong here. This is it. And exhale to gently release, hugging the knees into the chest. For a little roll. And then we can gently roll to one side and get up. Find a nice seated position, or we can stay on our backs here. Extend the legs nice and long. Let the feet open to the sides. And just take a few breaths. Really coming back to ourselves. Letting the benefits of this practice melt in to our spirit, our heart center. Deep breaths. Feeling the belly expand and contract with the inhales and exhales. Just being here on the mat. Letting our body rest. And whenever we're ready, we can make our way to a comfortable seated position. I hope you enjoyed this controlled strength vinyasa class. If you did, give this video a thumbs up. Comment your thoughts down below, how it made you feel. If you liked this class better than my power vinyasa flows. And if you're not subscribed already, hit that subscribe button to never miss more daily yoga classes with Yoga with Paige. And with that, I bid you a great rest of your day. Thank you for practicing with me, and I'll see you next time. Namaste, friends.